Yeah, so this person here saw a 57% increase in their taxes, which is bananas. Jeremy Nathan Group, your favorite awesome realtor. This is a topic that I've been talking about all year on my channel because people just don't understand how much property taxes in Texas actually affect them. And this year, I was right. We are seeing the largest property tax increase really in history. Yes, you are able to homestead. We'll go over that in a little detail, but every article that I'm seeing coming out is showing that we are seeing the highest increase in property values ever. And if you're wondering if that's going to continue into 2022 when those taxes come out, yes. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go through just how much property values did go up, what that means in taxes, what that means for the market, because the reality is that this will impact the market a little bit. And on top of that, we're going to go, what does this mean for homeowners that didn't sell this year? Because really they are deeply impacted by this. And then we're actually going to talk about some things to actually help yourself with property taxes as far as homesteads and really how to protest your taxes. But before we get started, make sure you drop a comment. I want to hear from you. If you are a homeowner and your property taxes did go up, I want to hear from you. What does that look like and how is that going to impact you as a homeowner? So here we go. As you saw in one of my last videos in March, the actual value of homes is up 28%, but the tax district is saying they're up about 19% with a taxable value of about 12% increase. I can tell you that that is not actually accurate. We'll go look through some of the information. I know my values went up about 23%, and I've heard from other people that theirs went up quite a bit more. And we'll look, just like that example I said at the beginning, we'll look at how much that dollar amount is in a second here. But in this article, they are saying that property values went up 16% over the last year, from about 354 to about 415. So let's break this down by the numbers. If your home was valued at 354 the year before, your taxes would be about $7,700 on a 2.21 tax rate. Now, remember, I talk about those tax rates that are 2.93%, how they will affect you. I'm doing the numbers off of what kind of is average in Austin is 2.21, but if you had a really high tax rate, that's going to impact you. So you're looking at 7,700 based off that like 354. So that increase from 354 to 415-ish means that your property taxes went up from $7,700 a year all the way up to almost $9,200 a year. That's a difference of about $1,500, which means that your property taxes per month are going to go up $121. That's a lot to go up in 1 year. I mean, imagine spending an extra $121 a month when you weren't anticipating putting that out there. So if you are a homeowner and you did homestead at the beginning of 2021 or you've homesteaded in the past, really what that would mean is your taxes would be capped about a 10% increase. So that 350 would actually be a value of 385, which means that your property taxes really only went up about 800 bucks. But that's still quite a bit to go up in a year. But let's say you're not able to homestead and you don't get a cap. Let's look at an actual example that I found showing how much property taxes went up for one person that actually purchased in February. Now, this person, I can't tell you how much they paid for their home, but in 2020, the taxes were about $488 established, which meant that they were actually paying $8,400 a year in property taxes. Well, this person purchased in February, which means they're not able to homestead. This year, their value went up to $594, which is almost 23, it's about 22% increase. And what that means is their tax value, assessed value, went up to $13,241. That's a $4,800 difference. That's 57% more in taxes that they are paying. That means they're paying $402 more a month, which is actually about $1,100 a month total. So if you weren't able to homestead this year, you just bought your home like in January, February, March, you didn't buy it in 2020, you can't homestead. And if you bought a home in 2020 and didn't homestead, I would call the tax district as quick as possible to make sure you're still able to homestead, because I don't think you are, but you never know, they might do it for you. Yeah, so this person here saw a 57% increase in their taxes, which is bananas. It is the craziest thing I've seen. Mine actually went up 23%, so I will be protesting my taxes as well. And disclaimer, please don't reach out to me for help protesting your taxes. If you're reaching out, I just can't do it. I don't have the time. I apologize for that. I would definitely recommend you reach out to your previous realtor or listen to the things I'll tell you here later. Okay, so let's move on to the next most important thing of this. What does this mean for the market? I think there's three things that are going to happen here. Number one, a lot of homeowners will look at this and say, you know what? I got to sell. I can't afford these taxes anymore. And they're going to put their homes in the market. So I'm anticipating we will see some more inventory. Is it enough inventory to make a dent in this crazy market? No. Is it enough inventory to stop crazy prices increasing this year? I don't think so. I think there's gonna be a lot of people are gonna have to list their homes in order for that to happen, and I just don't see that happening. The other thing that's gonna happen with people trying to sell their home though is where do they go? Do they move out and rent? Do they move out of Austin? Do they go somewhere else? Or do they just stay and suck it up? Which is probably what a lot of people will do, which is why I don't think that we're gonna see a huge amount of people listing just because of property taxes. We'll see some, but not enough to make a huge dent. So what's the second thing that's gonna happen? You're gonna start seeing rental prices escalate very high. Imagine you're that person where your taxes went up $121. Who does that get passed off to if you're an investor? You're gonna try to pass that on to the tenant. And with the amount of people moving here right now, it is insane, the rental market. I'm trying to help a couple people with rentals, which I don't do a lot of, and people are paying 12 months up front just to get a rental. They're offering well over the actual rental price in order to get a rental. So the rental market is insane. You think the home buying market's crazy? Look at the rental market. Now, I think this is the third consequence of the property taxes going up so high is that potential buyers are gonna be limited into what they can buy. Because if you can imagine the property taxes, in the example I gave you, going up $121 a month, some buyers aren't gonna be able to afford that. It's gonna hurt their debt to income ratio. Plus, if we do see interest rates continue to increase, that means that they're gonna be able to afford less, which is going to hurt our affordability. Now, that might actually stop prices from increasing so high. So maybe next year we don't see a 28% increase in prices, but maybe we do see a 10 to 15%. And look, over the next few years, I think we're gonna still see this 10% increase in property taxes every year. In fact, all the articles that I read all indicated the same thing. So what are some of the things that you can do to actually help yourself here? Number one, file a homestead. Now you can't file a homestead in the same year you purchase. So if you're buying a home in 2021, you are not able to file that homestead until 2022 at the beginning of the year. And so what a homestead does is it actually caps how much they can raise your taxes at about 10%. Now you have to have a full year to get the full advantage of that. So even if you did buy like in June or July of 2020, you may not get the full effect of that 10% cap, which leads us to what you need to do next, and that's protest your taxes. You can go to the Travis County website and you can e-file your protest. You will get that notice in the mail. You can fill that out and send it in. I would definitely talk to a tax consultant first before you do anything, just to make sure you're doing it right, because the other thing you don't want to do is go to an informal or a formal hearing and hurt yourself by giving comps that just raise your values even more and don't help. You do have until May 17th is the deadline to file that protest. So either you're gonna need to go online or do the mail. Here's what I personally do is I actually hire companies like Five Stone Tax, Texas Pro Tax, who actually do protesting. Now, they are gonna charge you like 40 or 30% of what they do save you, if they do save you anything, or they might charge you a service fee. So you can Google through those. Again, the ones that I use are Five Stone Tax or Texas Pro Tax. There's a lot of other ones that you can use. For me, that just saves a lot more time, and I really don't wanna mess it up. I've done it in the past, where I've done the informal, I've done the formal hearings, I've gone through all that, and for me, it's just a lot easier to use one of those companies. I don't have any promo codes to give you or anything like that for these companies, but you can Google on your own and look for that information. Jeremy Knight, the Knight Group, your favorite Austin realtor. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and actually share this video with a friend, especially somebody who's purchased a home and might be going through this and not knowing what to do. Maybe it'll help them, maybe it won't, but I hope so. Have a great day.